Live now. Today we learn class 12th biology chapter 16 environmental issues. Today we learn about greenhouse effect and global warming. The term greenhouse effect has been derived from a phenomena that occurs in greenhouse. In a greenhouse, the glass panel lets the light in but does not allow heat to escape. Therefore, the greenhouse warm up, very much like inside a car that has been parked in the sun for a few hours. The greenhouse effect is a naturally occurring phenomena that is responsible for heating of Earth's surface and atmosphere. Without greenhouse effect, the average temperature at surface of Earth would have been a chilly, that is minus 18 degrees Celsius, rather than the present average of 15 degrees Celsius. Clouds and gases reflect about 1/4 of the incoming solar radiation and absorb some of it, but half of incoming solar radiations falls on Earth's surface, heating it, while a small portion is reflected back. Earth's surface re-emit heat in the form of infrared radiation, but some part of this does not escape into space because of atmospheric gases like CO2, methane, etc. The molecule of these gases radiate heat energy, and a major part of which again comes to Earth's surface, thus heating it up once again. CO2 and methane are commonly called as greenhouse gases because they are responsible for greenhouse effect. Increase in the level of greenhouse gases has led to considerable heating of Earth, leading to global warming or enhance greenhouse effect. During the past century, the temperature of Earth has increased by 0.6 degrees Celsius. Here you see effect of global warming. Deleterious changes in the environment and resulting in odd climatic changes. For example, El Nino effect, increased melting of polar ice cap as well as of other places like the Himalayan snow caps, rise in sea level that can submerge many coastal areas. Now, control of global warming, reduce use of fossil fuel, improving efficiency of energy uses, reducing deforestation, promoting afforestation program, slowing down growth of human population, and last one is international initiative to be taken to reduce emission of greenhouse gases. Now, ozone depletion in the stratosphere. Bad ozone formed in the lower atmosphere, that is troposphere, that harms plant and animals. There is a good ozone also. This ozone is found in the upper part of atmosphere called stratosphere, and it acts as a shield absorbing UV radiations from the sun. The thickness of ozone layer is measured in terms of Dobson units, that is DU. Ozone gas is continuously formed by the action of UV rays on molecular oxygen and also degraded into molecular oxygen in the stratosphere. There should be a proper balance for formation and degradation of ozone. Then, how ozone depletion occurs? Here you see balance of ozone in stratosphere is disrupted due to enhancement of ozone degradation by CFC, that is chlorofluorocarbons. CFCs find wide use as refrigerants. CFCs discharged in the lower part of atmosphere, move upward and reach stratosphere. In stratosphere, UV rays act on CFCs and release active chlorine atoms. Chlorine atom degrades ozone, releasing molecular oxygen. Chlorine here act as a catalyst and not consumed during reaction. Whatever CFCs are added to the stratosphere, they have permanent and continuing effects on ozone levels. The depletion is marked particularly over the Antarctic region. This has resulted in formation of a large area of thin ozone layer, commonly called as a ozone hole. Here you see effects of UV rays. UV radiation shorter than UVB are almost completely absorbed by Earth atmosphere if the ozone layer is intact. DNA and proteins of living organisms are damaged by UV rays as they potentially absorb it. The high energy of UV rays breaks the chemical bond of these molecules. UVB damages DNA and mutation may occur. It causes aging of skin, damage skin cells and causes skin cancers. In human eye, cornea absorb UVB radiation and high dose of UVB causes inflammation of cornea called snow, blindness, cataract, etc. Such exposes may damage cornea. Now, what is prevention? Montreal Protocol was signed at Montreal, that is in Canada, in 1987 to control emission of ozone depleting substances. Many efforts are being made to reduce emission of ozone depleting substances. Now, soil erosion of top fertile layer due to human activities is called soil erosion. And what are the reasons behind this? That are over cultivation, unrestricted grazing, deforestation and poor irrigation practices. Now, water losing and soil salinity. Irrigation with proper drainage leads to water losing in the soil, draws salt to the surface of the soil. The salt starts collecting at the roots of the plants and the salt damages the roots and crop productions. Now, deforestation. Conversion of forested areas to non-forested one. It means removal of plants, that is deforestation. How deforestation does occur? Slash and burn agriculture, that is, or jhum cultivation. Farmers cut down the trees of the forest and burn the plant remains. Ash is used as fertilizer and land is used for farming or cattle grazing. Later, land is left uncultivated for several years for replacement of minerals. Here you see effects of deforestation leads to global warming due to excess carbon dioxide, loss of biodiversity, damage to hydrological cycle, leads to soil erosion and desertification of land. And after that, reforestation, restoring forest that was existing earlier. For example, observing Van Mahotsav. It also occurs naturally. Afforestation, developing a forest in a new area where no such forest existed in that area. Now the last one here you see a case study of people's participation in forest conservation. A kind of Jodhpur wanted to arrange wood for his new palace in 1731. Few Bisnois hugged the trees and asked to cut them first rather than cutting trees. 365 persons lost their life in this act. A small temple is now present there in remembrance of this act. Amrita Devi Bishnoi Wildlife Protection Award is instituted for individuals of rural areas who take keen interest in protecting wildlife. Here, Chipko movement, it was started by local women of Gadwali. They hug the trees to protect them from the access of contractors. Now, joint forest management. Strategy Government of India in 1980, local communities work with the government to save the forest. Communities get forest products for encouragement, and the program is called Joint Forest Management.